thought the first half was a really good improvement. Everybody went in, we had 11 guys, everybody played well. I think, the one fault in the game was Judah and Benny were settling for jump shots and twos really. And, some games you're going to make those, but most of the time they're not that good, the shooters, and you can get by and make plays. I think they'll learn from that. The other thing was we're making a pretty concerted effort to get Jesse the ball, and he's got to be better down there. And this is against 6'6" guys, so when he's going against 7-footers, he's going to have to be better down there. And I just think as a group, we have to rebound better. Guys like Chris have never rebounded. They played on the wing. You're a forward, you got to rebound some of the time. But I thought that tonight Malik was good, and I thought that Sy came in and was very good. And even Joe started out good, and he made some just bad decisions. Quadir and him made really bad decisions on offense, getting in the lane, no place to go. And, we turned over 17 times. You're going to turn over more when you play 11 guys, but that's not a good number. And I think that we really have to understand, especially Judah and Benny, they can get to the basket. The thing about playing man-to-man, they get 24 free throws. It's going to happen. You're going to commit fouls in those situations. So, again, it was pretty good, but there's still a lot of work to do there. We've got this week till we play Lehigh, and then we have actually another week before we play again. So we got a lot of work to do, but we knew that coming in. And again, first half was very well played. We did a lot of really good things, and we left, 2 or 3 out there, or made a couple bad turnovers and missed a couple easy plays. But again, it was good. We learned from this, both exhibition games, really smart, well-coached teams. And we didn't win because we overpowered them. We just won because we were a little more better, but we didn't overpower anybody for sure. All right, questions?
Coach, you mentioned the man-to-man defense. Just wondering, wanted to elaborate a little more on what you saw from that tonight and how you feel the guys performed that tonight.
I thought we were better. Our man-to-man we did a lot of good things.
Jim, of all the issues that you ticked off there where you got to get better, which one is your biggest concern?
They're all the things I mentioned are my concerns.
Coach, is there a difference in rebounding between playing zone and playing man-to-man on defense?
Is what?
Is there a difference when you rebound in terms of whether you're playing man-to-man or whether you're playing zone?
Theoretically, it's a little bit easier to rebound a man-to-man because you have a man and you're in those situations. But I think one thing with this team and some of the smaller teams we played, they have more guys that go try to get it from the guard position. So that's a little different than what we'll see, in the bigger games, the bigger teams. It'll be a little different. But yeah, the theory always was that man-to-man was a little easier to rebound. In reality, I don't really think it is that true. If we focus on our rebounding better, we can rebound enough. I think that's stuff we got to keep working at.
Is there any particular area of the team's performance these past 2 games that you've been really pleased with?
Yeah, I think I said that. I think I said what I wasn't pleased with.
Can you talk about what you saw tonight from Monier, Hemo? Can you talk about what you saw tonight from Monier?
He's active, but he's 3 over the backs. He had 5 fouls in 8 minutes or 11 minutes. So, he's active. He can block a shot, but he's got to know these smaller teams are going to block you out, and you just can't go over them. But he was active. That was good.
And your thoughts on Chris Bell through these first couple games?
He's a standstill shooter, and he's got to do some other things. I think that's important. Especially rebound, play defense. That's got to get better.
Coach, is Monier your backup center?
Pardon?
Is he the backup center after Jesse?
Yeah, I mean, we'll see how it works out. We haven't got anything formalized yet. We may play 3 forwards. Really haven't decided yet how that's going to work out.
Coach, you mentioned Malik did some good things tonight. What did you like from him?
He just does the hard things. He screens, he rolls, he catches, and he finishes. He plays a simple game. He didn't rebound as well as he has, but, you know, he just does his job. He's a good defender. He works hard. He doesn't take shots he can't make. It's pretty good.
Jim, you mentioned, I didn't hear the question earlier about the manning zone defense, but when they cut it down to 10, you did go to the zone.
Well,
Are you a little more comfortable?
No,
with
we
that?
started playing a little bit sooner. We were going to play in the second half. We started when we were still a little bit ahead.
Where you still, do you still feel like that's a better defense for you at this point, or?
Well, I don't think there's any decision that's been made on that. You know, it's a work in progress, both defenses. No, I think the thing that'll happen during the year, there might be some teams that man-to-man might be more effective against. There's other teams that the zone will be more effective in. You know, we're going to use it the way we see fit, and if we lose, everybody will think we should have played another defense, and that's fine. I don't care. I don't care. But, you know, we've been doing this 50 years, and we'll try to decide which is the right defense, and somebody on the couch or sitting here will say, well, why didn't you play that? Please don't ask me that question. It won't be well received.
What question?
What defense should you play, or why didn't you play this?
Oh, I just was curious about
Not
that
you.
when you today, why did it today?
Huh?
I was just curious about why you switched over.
No, we switched ahead of that. We were going to always switch. Our defense was pretty good. Our offense was why they caught up. It had nothing to do with our defense. Our offense was horrendous, awful. We got to work on some things. We got to get better there. I will say one thing because people keep talking about this. We've had 2 or 3 years where we brought in 6 recruits, or 7, as we brought in 7 actually this year. The next year we never took hardly anybody. There's just no place for anybody. We didn't recruit that many people, and I wouldn't be shocked if we didn't get anybody this year. We're focused mostly on 24. The only difference in today's world, we will try to take 1 or 2 players because, you know, somebody could leave, or 2 guys, 3 guys could leave. We don't know. And if I felt like only 1 guy was leaving, I wouldn't even be worried about recruiting. Joe and Samir can come back. So you can't promise guys playing time. Players are pretty smart. You got 4 guards, why am I coming here? So, I mean, attrition could happen and there could be a spot. So that's why we keep recruiting, but it's not ideal. All these guys came here because they knew that Buddy, Cole, Jimmy were going to leave. That's why they came here. They liked it, but that's why they came. Playing time is still a very crucial part of recruiting. So I think we'll still recruit somebody, but we're focused really hard on 24. The problem is that 24 guys like you, but they still want to wait a year. So you're not getting those. Normally, you're not getting those guys. Normally. It can happen, but it's highly unusual. That's why most coaches don't like the junior recruiting, because they come in, they have a great visit. They're not deciding. They're going to wait another year, probably, or at least 6-8 months. But it's very hard to get players. So that's the diversion away. All right. Any other questions about the game here?
Coach, when we talk about the compete level of this team in practice day in and day out, does this team remind you of anyone early on, and what are you trying to accomplish from
You
now
know,
on?
they're competing, but they're playing against young players mostly. So some things can work in practice that just won't work in the games. And I think, you know, one thing about streaky shooters is if a couple of them get going bad at the same time, you end up missing 4 or 5 shots to start a second half. Now you got, you know, if you had a 5-point lead, now you're probably behind. So those are the cases where we get it to Jesse, he's got to score. I mean, he had 2 or 3 layups. I mean, he's got to use the backboard like he's taught, and he's trying to dunk it and gets fouled, doesn't make it, and doesn't finish. He's got to finish those. He doesn't really, where he's good is around the basket, and he doesn't want to do that. He wants to shoot jump shots. Well, we keep his jump shots. He shoots jump shots in practice from 15 feet. He's making 24%. We keep those turns. So I asked him, is that what we should do? And he said, no, he's smart. No, we shouldn't. But he doesn't really, his baskets last year came from screening for our shooters. They doubled because they were afraid. He rolled, caught it, and dunked it. That's how he scored his 12 points last year. I don't think there was 2 times the whole year that we came down throwing the ball and he made a post move. That's not his game. We've worked on that. He's getting better in it, but if you can't score against these guys, what are you going to do against 7-footers? So he's got to get better down there. He's got to finish better down there. And he's got to rebound better. He's got to not commit the foul again, over the back foul, and he's got to be careful of that. I think Lanier can go in and give us some defense and give us some productive minutes, or Peter, but we need Jesse to be out there 30 minutes. Simple, and we need to play better. 17 turnovers is just not even close to what we are. Joe played a good first half, and he just played just like he got playing just like everybody else second half. Left his feet, got up in the air, didn't know where it was going. His 4th year here. He can't do that stuff. He's better than that. He has to be better than that. So there's a lot to learn from this game. Mostly a lot to learn from the second half. But, we'll try to get better. We'll work hard, try to get better for next week.
Coach, where would you assess Judah's ability to command an offense as a point guard?
He's still learning. He was mainly a scoring point guard. Like, even in the first half when he was going in the lane, he got the lane, but Joe was wide open for a 3. And he had a good shot, but we got an open 3. The next time down, same thing, and Chris was wide open. So you get those 2 guys out there, your job is to get them the ball. It's not to score. You can score, but if they're guarded, then you score. If they're not guarded, you just make a simple pass. He makes that one-handed pass, and the guy just takes it. You can't do that. You can't make that. You can't dribble off your foot. I mean, these are things that you got to learn now and get out of your system. So it's a learning experience. We can't have our point guard make 5 turnovers. It's not going to be successful that way. That's not going to help us. But he's a really good player. He's really talented, and he'll learn. It's just not going to happen today. It's going to take some time. And the one thing he does in practice, he's hard to guard, and he gets by people in practice. And you can't get by some guys. Some guys are just better than we are. So he'll learn. He'll get better at it.
Coach, one positive from tonight, you guys were 18 of 21 from the line. How important is it moving forward to keep getting those easy points?
Well, I think if we get Joe fouled a lot, we'll be very good in the foul line. It depends who gets fouled. Jesse was good. They missed 2, but he was good. Benny was good. There's no reason we can't be good from the foul line, I think. I think that's important. But, we got to rebound better. We can't turn the ball over that much, and we can't take some of the shots that we took. And, you got to know what your strength is in a particular game. And you may be a pretty good shooter, but if you're not really shooting that well, or we can get an easy shot, then that's what you try to do. That's what you try to do. So we got to learn some of that stuff. It'll take some time. All right, we'll see.